Stream is starting again and live. So, just heads up for you guys, this will be the last hour. But our current plan is to stream a little bit more often. So maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. So not as long anymore between streams. That's also why we do our episodes. So we basically upload our videos, because one of the reasons why we didn't stream so often was we needed to wait until all the pre-recorded videos were up. So make our videos instead, so those are up quicker, so we can start streaming sooner. And sometimes we may just not care about whether there's videos left, we just do it whenever we please. So in terms of what I wanted you to do, that road that is going northwest from Peterhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see my rail line coming in there, right?
Yeah, I see that.
Can you put the rail line, the wire line and the road one tiled section down so I can level bridge over it?
Once, that's like this way, right? Wait, where's the wire? There's the wire. They are like this, or the other way.
No. One level down into the ground, so I can make a bridge.
Into the ground.
So I can make a bridge over it, but stay level. You know?
Yeah, I know. Still have to go up one. Let me see.
No, I don't have to go up one.
Yes, we're on a railway. Eventually.
Yeah. But that way, my tram will go empty. Like this, I can leave it level full, because from the other side, I don't have to go down. Because when I arrive, I can do something like this, you know? And stay completely level.
Do you arrive from that side?
Yeah. I'm. What I'm doing right now, I will arrive from that side. Yeah, and something else too. So yeah, exactly. Then on the other side, I will have to go under the thing. Yeah. Probably something like this. If you move the. You move the wire a little over, like back all the way from where it comes out of the tunnel, like this maybe. Because if you do that all the way here, you end up back there at a higher ground anyway. Like, hook it up like this instead.
I don't know. What do you want to do over there?
You just make the other part of the junction. I need to get to the line from the other side too. I just want to make a trumpet junction here, basically.
Alright. You sure that signal there is needed?
Not 100%, but it doesn't.
Let me just do this instead. So how long were your trains again? 10, right?
11.
Yeah, well, same. So if we do this, they never have to wait for other trains, which is better, I think. They can always wait on this little train track over here if they have to wait for each other.
In this case, not gonna happen because I'm only sending one train here, but later there's gonna be more on here.
Yeah, so... but later on there will be more trains. Yeah. Just so they don't jam up the railway system.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, we can do that that way. And then up here. Up here, I kind of need something similar. Is there actually stations for wood unloading? No, right?
I do not know.
No, there are actually timber platforms. Good. That's one of those. I see. In that case.
It's actually funny that it loads up both trains at the same time for the same line.
Depends if the passengers want to go to a different place.
No, it's the same line. So the trains go to the same place, completely the same place. But one train gets like one passenger. It's well, tick that there is a passenger going out, and the other train gets like more.
I don't know.
Let's see what happens again.
By the way, do I have any idea on how to hook this up?
I know what this is.
If you go to Knutsford, between Peterhead and Knutsford, I'm trying to hook up a sawmill. I mean, here I could tunnel, but I still need to get then to the track on the other side.
I think I know something. No, wait, don't do that. We're gonna do it differently.
Okay.
Get rid of this. Oh. So what I want to do here, probably this. So you go in from this side, then go to the station here. And on this side we can easily make a bridge. And then we can connect it up. You see what I mean?
No.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Just do it. I have no idea what you mean. You mean coming in from the north and going out the south? I still don't know how you want to connect up the south.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm just gonna do this, okay? Fairly easy though. Let me see. Bridge from here to there. I think this should be good enough.
Yeah, but I still can't cross the wires.
That doesn't matter. just make a Y bridge.
Those look stupid as fuck, but okay. I wish that guy had added custom. Well, I don't even know there are. You can do custom bridges.
Well,
but
it looks fine because there is a bridge in front of it, basically. So it's less of a problem than.
Yeah, but make a faster one. Otherwise, they're gonna be slowed down by this like nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks shitty. Do you want to make a tunnel for them?
I can do that too.
Because the tunnel also doesn't have any speed restrictions for them.
Actually, you need to change it completely over here. Because it has to go out. Wires.
By the way, I think you want this electrified, right?
Yeah. Just future-proof, basically. No, still need to do this, I guess. Just like that. I need wired. Mainline.
By the way, do your trains here need a on-the-way depot, so to speak? Or something like that?
Where?
Along the line where we just hooked up, because I'm building depots there because I need them. I'm just not electrifying them or building the junctions so your trains can get to them if you want that.
No, there are on-the-way depots in Winchester and outside Knutsford, so it's not too far away.
Okay, then I'm gonna keep these purely for me. Because I'm gonna need those.
So you're just gonna hide them?
Yeah.
Level are you? Production level 4 still. Winning crew. Four passengers. It's not gonna be enough. So... just one left in there.
Seriously? My best train for pulling crap in terms of tractive effort can only do 61 kilometers an hour. I don't really know whether I want to put that on your line here.
Pretty heavy with passenger trains.
I'm gonna try another one and figure out how long that needs to be, how fast it can pull this stuff. Okay, this should work. I'm gonna use a different one. Need to make the train a little shorter, or rather less wagons, because the locomotive is longer, but I think it'll pay off, because 61 is pretty shitty. At least if I go on a high-speed line, like, that's probably not so ideal.
Probably not, no.
Actually, do the service on the other side. Okay, where were the forests? Got one that I can't even deliver by truck.
Well. Well, passenger trains are making quite a profit, which is good.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
I still have to do that automate thingy. I'm so not used to it that I just keep forgetting about it. To use the thingy.
Does that look good? I think that looks good. Let's leave it open.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I was trying to beautify the industry, but since the sawmill actually doesn't have any ground tiles, it's on green, it doesn't look good to put stuff there.
Ah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I see it.
So I'm just leaving the fences and just put some cargo tiles down, and then maybe some buildings.
This fort is getting quite big, by the way. Just so you know.
What?
Knutsford is already at 1100 inhabitants.
Knutsford. Someone, a subscriber, told me how to pronounce it.
You know, where you're busy building your station.
Yeah, I know.
Freight station.
I know what you mean.
Okay. Everything is fine.
I saw it earlier.
Well, every city is growing around here. The only station that's not in the city is Farmstead Station. Quite some people from Norway. Interesting.
Say again. Some people from where?
Oh, Norwich.
Oh, Norwich. I understood Norway.
Yeah. Norway, no.
Like what?
No, we don't have Norway in a game.
That would be what?
No, it would be stupid. Can't have people from Norway. Right, some people want to go to this town here, Swepstone. Ratings are excellent, so that's good.
How do you install my patch pack? You download the zip, you extract it anywhere you want, and you just double click on the exe, the executable.
Yep, pretty much. It's that easy.
It contains the complete game, so it's not like you have to install that anywhere or overwrite the vanilla game. In fact, you can run it in parallel to vanilla, so sometimes you get a little error message crap going on when my game uses some settings that vanilla game doesn't know, but in general it shouldn't be any issue whatsoever. What the hell? Oh, I'm so stupid.
What?
Oh, nothing. I just messed up your wire line. I fixed it already.
You what?
I just temporarily converted it to a different rail type. I always drag widely when I convert rail, and I completely forget that wires are rail.
Oh, don't worry. It's not like I never mess up myself. Right.
Occasionally. So pass signal, yeah.
rid of this, because this is gonna be gone. This will be the new station. What is this one? Or do we actually go with this one? I think this one. Ah, this one looks the best. Yeah, let's go with this one. For the other side too? Yeah, we do.
It's actually kind of stupid that a forest doesn't have a forest around it, isn't it? So let's remedy that.
Yeah, you're gonna build one?
Yeah, I'm gonna plant some trees because this looks incredibly stupid. I need to tell that to Alex when if he wants to make these huge forests that he does with those paths through them. He should probably do that where there's actually forest industries, because there it actually makes super sense to do that.
That is totally true.
Make that forest come down the hill like that, maybe. Maybe even go past the other side. Do that.
Then I want to do it over here. Where are you? Here we are. That one there, and then this one there.
Is ECS better than FIRS? I wouldn't say so, it's different. I like ECS because ECS ramps up the production based on how much stuff you transport off. Which, that way you have less of the problem that you often have with FIRS, that you have stations that have so much cargo that you need 4-way rail highways to get it all transported off. Especially if you start in earlier years where you don't have huge wagons and fast trains. I think the FIRS industry simply has too high production. If it produced about a quarter of what it produces, would probably be better. But other than that, it's just a very different way the chains are connected.
see that station. Enter file, station.
Yeah, that's right now no good way to get to that. That one is also a little awkward.
And then we have the underground access. Yeah, I'm not gonna use this. Oh, you can't do that, unfortunately. Well, I guess we have to keep these ones Japanese then.
wood train.
With the woody train.
GitHub file. What do you mean GitHub file? GitHub is not a file, that's where the source code is stored. Don't need that for anything, that's just letting people fail to find the source code. Can you add a new vehicle set after you started the game? Yes, if you activate a developer option. I would not super recommend that, however. I did it in this game, but once. I would not try to do that, actually. You can add new GRFs for stations and for new objects. That's usually fine, because they just add graphics. But anything that adds anything in terms of game mechanics, like vehicles and industries, I would not recommend you do that. I try it sometimes and I test it. If it works, great, but I have a better idea on when something is working and when not, and what to look out for. I would actually not recommend you try that. But there is a developer option to be able to add new GRFs after the fact, yeah. But it's a developer option for a reason, because it's, yeah, it can totally cause a crash and mess up your entire game in ways that are not easy to detect at first glance sometimes. Okay, and then when we actually start producing stuff here. Where should I send that even? Right in the middle? Do you have any preferred location for where I should drop off the goods in your Peterhead? Because right now there's no specific building that accepts them. Just
no,
center,
really.
just center of town or something like that.
Yeah, I think let's do that. Probably the best thing.
I'm gonna move that once there's actually a building for it, but right now. Ton of lag today. Internet connection may be messy.
Yeah, I didn't really have that problem, so.
Yeah, as a client I notice it more obviously, but and that might actually be a little much. 5 should be enough for now. Then Peterhead will start receiving some goods.
Nice, very nice.
Furniture, in fact.
People should be happy about you, or with you.
This also needs glass. I'm not really sure where to get glass, but... Do we have a glass thing? Way here? I'm not gonna try, then kinda sad I picked the vanilla truck set. Oh yeah, then I would definitely not recommend it. Because what you definitely cannot do is put something in the game that will replace something you already have. Because if you already have vanilla trucks and then you install a different vehicle set that gets rid of the vanilla trucks, you're gonna have major problems. Because then the game doesn't know what's going on anymore. That you definitely don't want to do. If anything, you only ever want to do stuff that adds something to the game. Never anything that removes something you already have, because that's gonna mess up everything. If you can add, if you want another truck set, make sure you can try it, but make sure you can configure it in a way that it doesn't replace the vanilla trucks. If it can be configured that it leaves them in, you should theoretically be good. You can try that, but never install anything that replaces something that is already there. That will blow up in your face. Especially if you already have vehicles of that type. That's not gonna work. But if you can add a vehicle set that leaves your vanilla trucks intact, maybe you can try doing that. I don't know exactly how to activate the developer mode. I think it's a console command or a setting in the config file or something. I activated that.
It's in the config file, yeah.
I think it's scenario developer or something like that. Because it's actually supposed to be only done in the scenario editor, not in an actual running game, but you can try it, you can play around with it. If you do that, you can go into the NuGRF settings here, and then you can... There's a big apply button down here then if you change something in here, and then the game will freeze for a couple of seconds, and then maybe it still works. You can try that, but again, check every single truck you have after you did that and check whether they still are the way they're supposed to, meaning they still work, they still look the same, their sprites are still intact, their orders aren't messed up, and their cargo capacity is still what it's supposed to be, because that can mess up all kinds of things. But again, if you only add stuff, it's usually fine. But again, for vehicles, I don't really like to do that. I mean, I added the Russian set here for us, and I added some different tracks type for us, like metro tracks and these new track types to get the depots, but that is already borderline. What I usually only like doing is add station graphics and NuGRF objects, because that's just graphics. That doesn't change anything in how that thing behaves. Those are usually safe things. Everything else, or like the tree graphics or stuff like that. But for example, not the terrain, because if I now deactivated this terrain and used one that didn't have a snow line, for example, the snow line actually influences how industries work and stuff like that. So yeah, you can easily mess stuff up by that. You need to be a little careful with that. But adding a new truck set should work. I think the EGRF, that general road vehicle set, or however it's called, I think that can be configured so it leaves the vanilla trucks intact. But you can't get rid of the vanilla ones because you already have them. That would mess everything up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even later, after you have them all replaced and you're using different ones, still leave them in the game, because the game has a list of stuff that's possible. And if that list suddenly gets smaller, indices into that list can be messed up and all kinds of stuff. So no, only add, never remove. That's gonna blow up in your face. And I only do that in our game because I'm a developer. So if anything crashes or is corrupted, I have actually a good chance of going into the game and writing something in code to temporarily put that right again. But at least I have a chance to do that. But if you're just a player and you mess up your save file, you're basically, yeah, screwed. That's why you should always, yeah. That's always, when I do something like that, when between sessions I add stuff, I always save that in a different save. I always keep the original save before I did that. It's probably what you should also do.
Yeah, make a backup first before you do anything. Because before you know it, you broke it.
Like when I go into the loading screen here, there, you see 16th April 1915, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, Y, J. That's all save games for either changing something in the NuGRFs or for changing something in the code of the game that changes the save game version. In case my code, there's a bug in my code and that corrupts the save game or stuff like that, so... I was just going to start some multiplayer with my friend. Well, go ahead. Hi, Keithy. Go ahead. 1980. If that's your birth year, you're just 1 year away from me. Go right ahead. You can watch and play if you want. Oh, my wood products train just left. Where the hell is it? Ah, it's arriving. First wood products arriving at the Petersfield Furniture Factory.
Hey. That's something.
I need to look into all these freight station tiles of the Oz set and figure out how those were actually intended to be used. because every time he creates one, he usually has a screenshot in his forum post on how those are actually supposed to be built. I need to look into that, because right now I'm basically just improvising here. Looks already good enough though. Have you seen it at Freight Station? To the southwest of Peterhead, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, yeah.
Looks good enough in my book. For now.
Yeah.
Looks like a freight station, at least. That's the one thing I could never go back to, the vanilla stations, because if I have to use these passenger stations with the roof for freight, I'm gonna get eye cancer. It just looks horrible.
True. And it doesn't make sense at all.
Am I running 1.8 or 1.7.1? Neither. I'm running my own modified version of the game that adds a lot of features, but it's based on 1.8. So it's compatible with the 1.8. But it's a modified version, a pack that I made and added in the source code. Since I'm a programmer, a whole bunch of features. Well, I didn't add them all myself. I collected a bunch that other people wrote and added them, but I also added a whole bunch of stuff myself. But it's compatible with 1.8. And if you wanna try it out, you can find the link in the video or stream description. There should be a download link there. Current version is 1.24.4, Joker's Patch Pack. Should be able to load 1.8 save games. The other way around doesn't work, by the way. If you try it and save it, then vanilla won't be able to load it anymore, so keep that in mind. It's not backward, it's backwards compatible but not forwards compatible. It actually works out nicely. So how's the goods production going here? Oh crap. 800 crates of goods for Peterhead waiting. Yeah, fantastic. I think I need more trucks here.
You think?
Well, more goods for Peterhead, I guess.
Not new purple. I'm deploying the train.
It needs 1400 per month anyway, so... Holy crap. I don't think I can deliver that much. I would need trucks back to back to do that. We can only, these kind of numbers we can only satisfy once the trucks get bigger. Otherwise I'm just gonna have the road cramped with trucks. I don't think we want to do that, that looks stupid.
Just make one giant traffic jam with trucks.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's 1918, we have Zeppelins.
Is that so?
Yeah, you can start doing air stuff.
But I love trains.
If you don't want to, I'll do some Zeppelin stuff.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
But the passenger stuff is supposed to be your deal, yeah. I mean, it's an additional way of transporting mail, because those always also have a certain mail capacity.
Let me see.
It all adds to the city. I mean, you can maybe try.
Can only go 320 tiles, though.
Yeah, but with intermediate stops, you should maybe be able to connect some of our bigger towns. I mean, Petersfield Hitchens, how far is that?
Too far. We could go to the island. If I can find the island.
Yeah, but from where? Hitch and Peterhead. Is that really that far? Maybe make a stop in Winchester or something?
We can go from Greenock to...
Can you pause the game for a second?
Chertsey. 1 second then.
Yeah, because now my game reacts. Because those zoom out, I can't do crap if the game is running. Okay, Hitchens to Winchester would be around 173. Birdfly distance, I think that's the one that counts. And Winchester to Petersfield would be 173 also. So maybe make a stop at Winchester? Then could hook these two towns up. Winchester is starting to be big enough anyway.
Oh, Peterhead is already pretty big. Winchester is okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Peterhead is one of our big cities, so that should be hooked up anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know when the airship arrives. That has to double the range, I think. I don't know when that comes out. Should come out soon.
I hope so.
In 2 years, the German trains also arrive, so. Just for you guys' interest, an in-game year is roughly gonna last in real-time hour the way we play, so that should happen anytime next stream. We should have German trains available. Those we can use on this side. We wanted to use the Polish and the Russian ones on the other continent, or well, continent depending.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Island or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it is pretty much a continent, right? I mean, let's just say it's a continent.
Yeah, this thing, that side. The other side of the ocean or a super large lake or whatever. Let's say this is the United States and the other side would be Canada, on the other side of the Great Lakes.
So we will have Russian trains in the United States or Canada.
Yeah, I don't know what in Europe. I don't know any huge lake that separates anything unless you count the North Sea as a lake.
Well, kinda is a lake.
Last time I checked, there's no lake separating Netherlands from Russia, so unless you flood Germany, then maybe.
Well, we can do that. I mean, that's not a problem.
not for the Dutch, probably. Yeah, if you're good at anything, it's flooding stuff and drying up stuff. By the way, the IJsselmeer. When was that? When was that separated from the ocean and became a lake? That was before the second. That was before the second.
Yeah, it was before the Second World War. Yeah, it was. It was between the 1920s and 1930s, I believe.
Yeah, something. Because I looked at the recently, because I do the Panzer Corps stuff. I looked at the original German attack plan for the attack on the West, and they said that one German army or whatever that was supposed to occupy the Netherlands was gonna go up to the Zuidermeer, or what was it called before?
Zuiderzee, Southern Sea, basically in English.
Yeah, whatever it was called. They had still that name that the troops would go there. By that time, that name was outdated, right?
It was already outdated, but
it should already have said
a lot of
IJsselmeer,
people
right?
still use it.
Zuiderzee. Zuiderzee?
Yeah, Zuiderzee.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
It still said that in the military order, but it should have already said IJsselmeer, right?
Yeah, it should have said already IJsselmeer or Markermeer, actually, because there were two lakes.
Yeah. So that was already wrong. I noticed, because I noticed that when I read that Zuiderzee, what the fuck is Zuiderzee? And then I looked it up, the article. That's that. Because I actually once, when I finished, it wasn't actually graduation, but it was going from the junior to senior high school kind of thing. We actually went on a little sailing tour on the IJsselmeer, so I know that.
Right.
And we made a little stop in Amsterdam, so I knew that, but I had never heard of Zuiderzee before, and then I looked it up and said, okay, and then I noticed, well, that is kind of anachronistic, that is wrong. Just noticed that they apparently hadn't updated that in their attack order.
No, but you know, the whole Dutch army was pretty much outdated, so...
Yeah, I mean, it hadn't been long before that, though, right? Like 5 years before World War II or something like that?
No, a little bit earlier, I think.
Or a little, even less? 10?
Yeah, I think about 10 years actually.
In the 20s?
Yeah, end of 20s, begin 30s. Let me see, 1932, so 8 years before the war, basically.
Okay, so less than 10 years, yeah. What passenger?
Yeah, and the dike was created on the 28th of May, and the official name change happened on September 20th, 1932.
Yeah, okay, so...
So it took like half a year to change the name.
Well, the German army had 8 years to update their maps, and they didn't, so... Yeah.
But yeah, they basically dammed it off because things happened.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I read about that, yeah, what the reasoning was. And I think I already have, I do a little World War II map with the old borders and stuff to explain to people where the heck geographically everything is going on that's happening in the game. I think there's one large landmass. I think those last two provinces that the Netherlands gained, which are on that middle part there in that dried up little island that consists of two. I think it's two districts on there. I don't think that existed back then. So, but I have no way to edit that out of there. I can't remove the landmass.
No. It's it wasn't there yet. No, that's true.
I might just add another lake and put it on top of it to overlay it or something like that. But it's not like it's important for the war or anything. But I might just mention that piece of land didn't exist yet. Like those are the Dutch for you guys. Like, they make land out of nothing.
Yeah. No, that was basically in the 70s or the 60s.
Yeah, that was pretty late. Yeah, that was way after the war. Yeah. Didn't they?
Yeah, and right now I believe Almere, the city of Almere on there is like the 5th biggest city in the Netherlands at the moment. So
I actually read there was one province that was already in preparation for being dried up, and the Germans during the occupation almost flooded it again or something like that.
That's probably the Northeast Polder or maybe the Wieringermeer, because they both wanted to make that dry.
Yeah, I think that was the Northwest Polder. I think that rings a bell. Was one of the boulders, definitely. Yeah, I think they were in preparations for drying that one up, and the other two that came way later. But in the middle of when the occupation started, they were right in the process of drying one up.
Yeah, okay. You have the Markermeer right now. They actually wanted to dry that one up too.
Yeah.
But they never did that.
Yeah, I read that.
And I'm quite happy that they didn't do that, because that would be just ugly. I mean.
Yeah, I read that they planned to do a whole bunch more, and then eventually they didn't do that because a bunch of people were against it, and they didn't need it anymore, and it was nicer the way it was and stuff. Like a bunch of people
right now,
didn't want to get rid of it.
Right now, they want to do stuff in Graveling, and that's in Zealand, where they want to build islands with luxury, homes for tourists and stuff like that, and people are against it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let me quickly answer something in chat. You saw a train get income and transfer at the same time. Yeah, that's when you have cargo distribution active. You go into the settings here. That's got nothing to do with my patch. That's in vanilla too. You just need to activate it. Here you either symmetric or asymmetric. You activate that, and then passengers and whatever else cargo you activate it for gets distributed along all the possible routes that you have. Like, a passenger will not just go by bus from one station to the next. It can take the bus to the train station, and then it won't vanish. It will automatically transfer to a train, go to the next train, and whatever. And you can see that here. When you open this up, you see where everybody wants to go and via what place they want to go. And the train can get income and passenger transfer at the same time, because there may be some passengers aboard that arrive at their final station, and for those you get the income, and others just transfer at that point and want to go to another vehicle. For those you get only the transfer. So that can happen at the same time if you have cargo distribution active, because then if I actually click on one of the trains, one that is hopefully a little bit loaded, you can see here it says 9 bags of mail from Peterhead, 2 passengers from Swepstone East. So they all come from different places and go to different places. Passengers are not just passengers anymore. Like here, you can see where they want to go and where they come from. And so if a train arrives and something wanted to have the train station as a final destination, then you get the income for those. And for some others that want to transfer from there, you get the transfer. So that's why why you see both at the same time. That can only happen if you have cargo distribution active.
Yep.
But then that can happen. That's been part of the game for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years or even longer. I don't know when they added that. So that has nothing to do with my version. That's been in there for quite a while now. Oh, you added some Zeppelins.
Yeah.
Like with the big airfield already. So getting ready for planes, huh? For the early Zeppelins, they sometimes use that very small airfield. Have you seen that? That very small helipad thing? If you go in the helipads, helicopter airports, there is a very early little...
Oh, yeah, I see it.
The air depot, yeah. Those are kind of nice.
Hey, you have the air station.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Those are nice for the kind of Zeppelins. Well, in the big cities, leave it. It makes sense. Eventually, we'll gonna have planes anyway. But for the smaller connections, the intermediate stuffs, maybe at Winchester, the other one would make more sense or something. But at the big cities, you can definitely leave the big one.
Well, I could still change that.
You can rotate them, by the way. You know that, right?
I can what?
You can rotate them.
Rotate?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know.
If you go in there, where it says default orientation, you can click the arrows and... Do you see that?
Let me see. Oh yeah, I see it.
That way you can place the hangar maybe to the road better or something like that, just in case that matters.
Doesn't matter. I can just put down a road up there.
Or not have the runway face a skyscraper and shit like that. Which will definitely look worse when we have the big airports. I actually like that I added those fake airport tiles in the new GRF objects, because then you can add some longer runway tiles or some landing lights in front of the runway so the city can't build stuff there. Because it always looks incredibly stupid when they build a skyscraper.
So they don't have to go through a building.
Yeah. Time, we're probably a little over time. But we're gonna call it quits in a little bit.
We're only 19 minutes over time. Let's make it 1 hour and 30 minutes, just for fun. Because why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm done with everything that I wanted to get done anyway, so we can just chat a little bit more, and you can get some stuff done, and then we call it quits for this session.
I'm already pretty much done, I think. I'm not really gonna do any big projects anymore.
This, by the way, is a feature that I added recently, this waiting cargo history. Have you been using that actually on anything yet?
No, me not yet. Yeah, I'm only using passengers. I don't know if already did. He liked it though, but we're not really used to this kind of things in this game, so forget about it really quickly. It's actually pretty full, the Zeppelins. doing? Wow, 504 passengers waiting. Are you sure we need Zeppelins? 550, 60. Wow. Okay.
Have you actually hooked them up to the network, to any bus station or anything like that?
No, not even. They're completely solo.
You should.
No. Over 784 people waiting already. These things will have like 2k people waiting at one station if I hook it up to a bus station.
What did you just do at Winchester? Did you create new city blocks or?
Yeah. Something for them to expand on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
Pretty much.
Yeah, the passenger count is kind of rising. I just looked at the graph. We try and jump to Brexit. Hopefully that doesn't slow down the game like crazy anymore. Sorry guys, I'm gonna drop some frames. Will I be doing any more season 3? Probably not. I want to do a single player stream. The problem with season 3 was again the same thing that always happens, which is why this time we did something a little bit different on this Let's Play. You will notice that we have a lot less towns spread out over a much bigger area. So we have a big map, but we don't have many towns, like 100 or so. Well, I set the maximum to 100. It's not actually 100. It couldn't place 100, but it's definitely less than 100. Usually you would have 1,000 on a map like this. What I noticed with maps like this, I like big maps because I like big distances, but I don't like the map plastered with stuff, because then the game becomes repetitive after a while, because you do basically the same thing for 100 towns. Yeah, after you made the 100th bus line, it gets boring, and that's the problem with season 3. If you look at that, basically I covered by about a quarter of the map, and that was fun. If I cover another quarter, I know I will do basically the exact same thing all over again, and that's just not super fun. So if I do another single player thing, I will probably do a map just like this, where that's basically why I added that setting to the game anyway, where you can set a minimum distance between the towns so they can't be that close together. And I also set a maximum number of towns, and I make sure we only have so much actually on the map. So there's less, so I can concentrate on less, make that fun and not make it so repetitive. But the reason why I'm currently not starting a new single player thing is, first of all, I'm enjoying this very much. Second of all, they are currently working on a feature to introduce different types of roads to the game. I don't know exactly how close that is to finishing, but it's getting there. If it takes a year, it takes a year, I don't know. But it's definitely something that I want to wait for, because that's something I definitely want to simply have, because then stuff like this, pretty industries, you can actually have the industrial road where they're supposed to be, stuff like this where they're fake field roads and fake gravel roads. Over here, where are those? Over here, going through the forests and to the industries, where there could actually be real roads, and you can send certain trucks there and stuff like that. You have actual road types. I kind of want to wait until that's ready before I start another series, because it would frustrate me if that gets released in the middle of it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm actually not sure, that might cause a save game issue. Might not be able to load old save games. At least I know they have currently some trouble The only bugs that are still remaining are with old save games that were made before the feature was there. So that might actually be a little bit of an issue. I'm actually doing good with my cargo stuff. Most of my stations have nothing waiting.
No? Neither do mine.
Yeah, right. I've been looking at them the entire time. My building materials need to be transported off. That's definitely something I need to increase, but...
I've got the amount of freight trains over here. It's insane.
Where?
Oh, here. On this piece of main line here.
I don't see where you are.
Between north of Brexit.
Oh yeah. Well, immediately north of Brexit, that's separate from you.
You know, when you
it joins you later, yeah.
Yeah, but then you see all those long freight trains across everywhere.
Yeah, well, I already had a sign somewhere saying, I suggested that to you last time. Eventually, I'm suggesting we turn that piece into 4-track.
Yeah, we probably have to.
Because this is the main connection going into this entire, well, half island, area, so to speak. Yeah. Going into this axis
into
of
the United States.
Yeah, basically. Into this entire area. If you look at it, by the way, guys, from the map, so you can see what we're talking about in terms of layout, you can see this entire little piece here of land. That is the only rail connection in there, and it's gonna remain the only one since everything else is hills and mountains. So, oh man, now the game is really lagging on me like crazy. Now the snow is coming. I need to zoom in. Yeah, OBS plus this is not good.
No, not the best communication, but not the best thing to work together now.
I also have still some other applications running at the moment that might not be the best idea. For example, I just closed Visual Studio. That's resource eating like nuts. Yeah, otherwise I'm actually pretty happy with my new steel station. That is so much better, the traffic flow there. Improve this junction, I already did. Traffic is flowing so much nicer there now. Especially this cargo tunnel under all this Brexit stuff, that was absolutely needed because that direction was interrupting everything. Because that had to cross basically everything, and that is not good.
No, not really, no, not really.
The main line is now really working well because I removed all the crossings, made all nice junctions. Petersfield I also did. You can check that, it's now looking nice. And that little section that goes down to my gold mines, I did that, and my connection to my... I don't need that anymore. Get rid of a couple of signs that I put here. My aluminum, I still can't believe I'm delivering to 2 aluminum plants at the same time here. Yeah, all these junctions now improved, so the traffic flows a lot better now here.
Oh yeah, I still have one train that's like doing its thing here.
Finance history. Well, you theoretically have a finance history in terms of the income graph. If you want to see how you're it could be done, but not sure that's worth the effort, because you have to remember every little bit of data I add to that will basically increase the size of the save game also. So, but yeah, it would theoretically be possible. The thing is, I can only store 24 values, so it wouldn't be super accurate if I make it more than... I could store it basically for 24 months, I guess, but not sure that's super worth it. Considering how you're rarely ever in money problems in this game, I don't think that's super worth it. I have other things that I plan to work on that will be a lot nicer and a lot more beneficial. I'm not gonna say what, because people are gonna hate me if I can't get it done. But I'm working on some ideas that would be a lot more beneficial than stuff like that. But theoretically it would be possible, yeah. But I've seen a lot of people think about the finances window. Honestly, I don't think that's the biggest thing. I mean, how much time do you spend in that? Seeing how your cargo is developing is a lot more relevant. Is my output... Are my costs relative to my income developing right? I mean, if this was a super hard game in terms of making money and you have to balance everything properly, then I could see the benefit in that, but it isn't, so... Maybe to see if improvements to tracks have made a change. Well, what exactly do you mean with the history? Do you mean for every section here, like train income, road income, a graph for all of those? Do you mean that? Theoretically, that would be possible, yeah. If that's what you mean. I could store that for the last 24 months, though. So you already have the past 2 years. You just don't have it. You just don't have it in terms of to the month accuracy. You have it to the last 2 years accuracy. So you basically have 2 data sets instead of 24. So you would like the train income to not just see it every year, but actually see it every month as a graph. Just so I actually understand what you would like to have. But yes, that would be possible. But let's say I'm not gonna put that extremely high on my priority list. But if I get around to it, I'll keep it in mind. Let me put it that way. As I said, I'm currently planning to work on some stuff that's gonna be a huge amount of work. But if it actually if it works out, then I can get it to work. It's gonna be a huge payoff for a lot of people. So I'm gonna try and prioritize that. One of the things is actually improving the ship pathfinder, because the ships, yeah, are stupid as fuck. And those stupid boys are going on my nerves, because sometimes the ship is right in front of something, and just because there's a little landmass in the way, it can't find its depot, and I'm lost. That is something that I would like to work on, and I'm kind of making progress in figuring out how to get an algorithm to even work with the tiles that the game has. So that would be something, but I have another thing that is even more impressive, but I'm not gonna say that. But that is definitely, because of that, I have definitely no idea whether I can get it to work. But if I can both of those things to work, then we're gonna talk about these minor things. I'll definitely keep it in mind. It's definitely doable. I already would know immediately how, but right now I completely neglected my YouTube channel a lot. I'm missing out on making some videos, especially for my Witcher series, because I did way too much OpenTTD programming. And every time I added a whole bunch of features, I kind of like to take a break and just enjoy what we have. And just play it and play it and play it with DailyAKI to make also sure that it's actually stable and there's no bugs left. And then just actually enjoy what I put into the game and not constantly add new stuff. So the next big push I kind of expect to do maybe in a couple of months, because I also need to focus on some other stuff now again. But whenever I feel like adding a whole bunch of stuff again to the game, I'll keep it in mind. Let me put it that way. It's certainly something that I could do in a day, but right now I kind of want to, because I just had a whole bunch of bug fixes that I needed to do. I kind of want to let the game go out there to players and see whether anybody reports back whether anything crashes, because I just fixed already a whole bunch of stuff, because I added a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't actually add just to remain compatible with some other stuff, and a whole bunch of that was not actually as stable as I hoped it was. So for now I want to let the game settle a little bit and people figure out whether everything actually works the way it's supposed to. And then if that's actually the case, then I might think about another set of features. So yes, I'm gonna think about it. And I know that sounds shitty, like saying, oh, you could do it in a day, but you don't feel like it. That's not it. I just don't want to add too much always to the game, because everything I add has the potential to crash if I do something wrong. And I want to get the game in a confirmed stable state again before I try to add new stuff again. And I also don't want to burn myself out because I have other stuff that is super interesting that I know a lot of people would love if I could get it to work. And I want to keep my motivation up for that, since I have a whole bunch of other stuff on my plate. Especially that Bracada cooperation for Panzer Corps. I always need to prepare some historical stuff and some maps and get the website. We have a website where I put the scenario objectives from that game on an actual historical map and stuff like that. That all takes spare time that I need to spend, so I don't want to focus myself too much in one area, otherwise I've had that before, because then stuff happens where I just shut down and don't play a game for like half a year because I can't see it anymore before I get enthusiastic about it again. I do not want that to happen, especially since I'm right now having a lot of fun with DailyAKI here. It's why I'm adding all this shit in the first place, because I know we can get it to put it to good use in the game that we play.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time to rip this one out up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, no problem. As I said, I'm mostly done anyway. I just wanted this time to build a couple cargo stuff in your area up there, not always spend my entire time in the same area. I think that gets a little boring to people. This time they also got to see a little bit of what you're up to.
Not too much, to be honest. I just have been redoing stations mainly. So...
Oh man, the game is
like
so slow! So slow when I zoom out.
Yeah. I can't do it either. The game doesn't like it when I do it.
Yeah, on single player it's actually pretty damn fast now, but yeah, streaming and multiplayer is still a little bit of an issue.
Just a little bit. Probably the case there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow one of your Zeppelins for a little while and then we can call it quits.
Alright, they're just flying around. Hopefully. Not crashing.
He just said he recently discovered my patch pack and it added everything that he's been wanting. Well, it's kind of the thing. I'm adding stuff that I want, and I play it a lot, so I kind of know what is useful to have in the game. If I think it's pointless to have, then I'm not gonna add it. That's the whole idea. So yeah, I hope most of what I add is useful, because that's why I added it.
Well, all I know is that there are a lot of features actually missed in OpenTTD that are in your pack, so...
Like what would you say you like the most in terms of features? What's the most useful stuff?
What's the most useful stuff for me? What was it again? Was something. Well, I have to say, I completely lost it. I definitely like the new way of doing this, but that's not, well, really for your pack. Like the timetabling stuff, that's really something I like. How you did it with the automated timetabling, that's really something I love to have. Something I actually, well, didn't have in OpenTTD itself, and then I saw it in your thing, and that's actually a big improvement for me for like my services and stuff like that. So yeah, that's, I think, the biggest thing for me, actually, to play with this instead of vanilla.
Yeah, most of your trains are either early or on time. There's a couple ones that are a couple minutes late. There's only a couple ones that are super late, but that's probably some issue with the line.
Yeah, maybe stuck with freight traffic or something.
Yeah, it's the Hitch and Bexhill line mostly. That's the one that goes to the cargo traffic, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why, but yeah. I made everything automated, so
yeah, they will try to adjust for it eventually, but yeah. Another thing that can mess it up if they sometimes have to go out of their way to find a depot.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Having the depot as part of the timetable is actually better in that regard, but yeah, most of that delay is probably down to cargo traffic, but the rest actually looks decent. Most of the lines seem to be perfectly on time. Well, let me go to your passenger lines. The Emerson New Haltenheim had exactly one train being a little late. The Bexhill Grantham line is completely
but one
on
train
time.
can happen, you know.
Yeah. Most of them are early or on time.
Well, which is a good thing. And the future, well, I don't know how useful it is, but the future about the timetable, the departures that you can see, just lovely.
Yeah.
You know, that you can click on the station and just go to the timetable or the departures of every train here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they start to become too early at the stations, we can decrease the value for the rounding up and padding a little bit maybe, but we'll keep an eye on that. I think right now it's mostly line issues. Most of it seems to be actually fine. Let me check the buses. How are those? Oh, I need to replace some buses here. Some buses are getting old.
Probably.
Oh yeah, most of our road vehicles are doing great. They're nearly all on time or early. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 road vehicles that are late, and the latest one is 11 minutes late, so that might actually have to do with breakdowns. I know we don't have breakdowns, but yeah,
No,
it's the local hitching.
that.
It's the local hitching line, I think. Let me see. What's the deal with the local hitching line? Oh yeah, I know what that is about. That's partly the depot, and partly because you have one bus line going from Hitchin to something else and they use the same station. Sometimes the buses in Hitchin have to wait for that other one, and that blocks the thing. You might want to maybe reroute some roads so one of those actually arrives from the other side, so they always have a free station there. I experimented a little bit when I introduced the feature and figured out, okay, why is stuff still late? I think that's the main reason, and it's mostly, basically all the stuff that is late is local hitchin and my fish line in Grantham. Why the fuck are those late? They also have to go to Bexel and probably get blocked by something other stuff, yeah.
Maybe by trains.
Or they might get stopped by the trams or some stuff like that, yeah. But yeah, everything else seems to be perfectly on time, so should be good. Yeah, and the departures feature that he was talking about, that's this thing.
Yeah.
By the way, do you like the window better now that it's brown?
Yeah, it looks better, to be honest. It fits more with the text and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I did it for one button by accident, and then I thought, oh, it actually doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it kind of looks more natural, and with the green with the right and the yellowish when they're delayed. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, that also looks pretty decent. I mean, when I look for the trains, basically almost all of them at Bexhill say on time.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are late...
expected a little bit later.
Yeah, like 5 minutes late. This one's 10 minutes late. Actually, this looks like a real... like a real train thing. Like, sometimes I'm 5 or 10 minutes late, most of them on time. Yeah, I could imagine this. By the way, the amount of ticks that represent a minute are now variable. You can set that in the settings. That's purely visual, by the way, so you can have a different setting than I. But right now I set it to basically a minute is a standard unscaled day. So basically for us, since we play with 4 scaled days, 4 minutes is a day.
Yeah, okay.
I said that, and it kind of, for the way the vehicles move and wait, it seems to make the most sense. Like, a train stays at a station for like 4 minutes and stuff like that, and travels between stations like half an hour to 45 minutes and stuff. That seems like it's a good value for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, if you look at the distances between our cities here, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks realistic. I think that's a good value to set it. That's the default value, by the way. If you guys loaded an old save game with my thing, that will be what it's automatically set to. But if you're wondering where that is, you can go in here, interface, that's the value. Set that to 74, then you have a standard day. So, yeah, when I look at the departure table like this, it seems to make the most sense.
Yeah.
It also shows
now only has 24. Yeah.
It only shows vehicles late if they are at least a minute late. So if they are like 34 ticks late, that's not a whole minute. It's not going to show that. It's going to show it as on time. Because that's like minimal amounts. If you look down at the status bar, how quickly a minute ticks down, that's less than that late. That's like the signal went green a couple of milliseconds later or stuff like that. That's pointless to register that as late, because usually with the buffer time of the waiting time at the station, it can already get that fixed again. So it's pointless of showing so many trains. Oh, I'm late. How much? 1 tick. Great. It's like a millisecond or something. Like, no.
And does the thing not move anymore? The station calling out.
They move if
or
they
is
don't.
It just because there are not.
They move if they don't fit in the screen.
So they all fit in, so it doesn't move.
Yeah, if you make the window smaller and they don't fit in, then it starts to move.
All right, or there are just too many stations to stop at.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, no. Oh yeah, it does it now. I was like, it doesn't do it, but it does do it now, right now, so...
Yeah, I mean, I could do that for all of them, but that's the way the guy that created this feature did it, and I think it makes like this the most sense. But it should be easy enough to do that for all of them. If you want that, I can next time I tweak with the code again. I'm not going to do that tomorrow or anything, but
I don't know. It kind of looks like it kind of looks like the realistic screen on a station or something that really, yeah, I don't know.
What way it looks it realistic? If it did it for all of them, or?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, the next time I can look in the code.
Keep it this way.
No, I can make that optional, that it does that for everything. That would be easy to figure out, I guess. That shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Remind me of it next time I'm adding something to the game. That should be easy enough to add another setting that you can activate to make that happen.
So what's the maximum amount it actually shows? Is that like 7 or 8 trains?
You can you can put that in the
5,
settings,
6,
I think.
7.
There's a setting for that.
Alright. So it only shows 10 trains here on each station, I believe.
Yeah, if you go to interface departure boards, at the very top, it just show at most so many departures for each station.
Interface departure boards. Oh yeah.
I've set it to 15, so you can set that to anything you want, basically.
Do it to 30.
Yeah, I mean, it might cost a little bit additional processing power, but it only updates every so often, so it only updates. You can also set how often it updates. So, for example, if you set... oh yeah, I can set that to 74, because every minute should be enough to update that. You should probably set that to 74, because it makes no sense to calculate that more often than every minute. Then it shouldn't be too performance heavy. Again, this is purely a visual feature. This doesn't have any effect on anything. So...
No, not really. Not really. No. It's just a nice feature.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to Norwich and I go to the live travel information, I see that there is a train to Swepstone coming in, and then to Swepstone again.
Yeah, I just checked it.
Some are expected a little bit later than...
Yeah, I'm just checking Brexit North, for example.
But most is on time.
Yeah, I have 30 active now. Everything's on time. So...
That's good.
In terms of trains, at least. I'm just looking at the trains now. Brexit North is the main station, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main station, yeah.
Yeah, currently the next 30 trains are on time.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's take a look at Hitchin real quick.
One guy that the Mid Jeffries, one also a smaller YouTuber that does a lot of OpenTTD stuff, he has a huge map and he has huge builds on it. I have no idea how he has the patience for that, because he really connects like 1,000 towns and stuff. He recently asked whether this feature actually introduces additional processing costs or anything. No, this is only calculated when the window is open, and it's calculated on data that is already there. So it just goes to all the timetables of the vehicles that arrive, that are going to stop at that station, and that calculates all this stuff. There's now additional stuff that is stored anywhere in memory or anything like that, or constantly being calculated. No. If you don't have the window open, nothing happens, actually. And if you have it open, it just calculates the stuff every couple of ticks. So this didn't add any kind of performance drop or anything like that, so don't worry about that. And if anybody is wondering, that is purely visual and only happens when the window is open. That is just a visual feature that has no impact on anything not in terms of how anything works and not in terms of game performance. It's just a gimmick.
Pretty much, but it's a nice gimmick.
Yeah, and it's purely visual. That is purely visual. You can see by you can have that thing open and at the same time change the ticks per minute, and all the times will change. So
yeah,
that already shows you that it's completely arbitrary what you set that to, and it's purely visual. But it's gonna be accurate. I actually checked it. When it says it's on time and it's arrived at 8:46, it does arrive at 8:46. I checked that, so it is really pretty accurate. That's actually very accurate because it really calculates if the timetable is correct, then this time that it says here that the train will arrive at is correct. It will really drive into the station at exactly that time. So
yeah. You wanna know something?
Yeah.
We just turned this into a 2-hour episode.
Are we already over 2 hours? No, then we should call it quits because I know.
No. 1 hour and 56 minutes.
Yeah, then we should stop it before it goes over 2 hours because I noticed YouTube messes up stream recordings sometimes that are over 2 hours. So yeah, I think we talked about cool features enough anyway. We're not building anything anymore. So yeah, again, we might stream next week or the week after that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, or else the week after that, yeah.
So I hope you'll join us again, and for now, as always, have a good one, and we hope we'll see you on the next one. As always, these recordings will go up on each of our channels over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, it will go up for me again, so it's gonna be good. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully back next week or the week after it.
Bye bye. So